Alright, what is up, gaming friends? We've got a big week of gaming news that just happened. Lots of stuff to talk about, so let's get into it. First up, apparently scientists have investigated and come to the conclusion that Mario Brothers Gravity couldn't happen in real life. I know that's a huge disappointment for all of us. I mean, I go outside all the time trying to jump and hop on anything I can just to get into outer space or do anything, double backflips and all this stuff, but apparently Mario Brothers has lied to me. Let's just hope that there's no lawsuit coming up to sue Mario Brothers over the lies over all these years. Oh man, well that's just too bad. And that was actually a week over the past 2 weeks, but I did not want to share that because I thought it was really stupid. But my gaming news feed, every gaming site was talking about it, so I was like, alright, fine, I'll mention this crap. Mario Brothers Gravity couldn't happen in real life, according to scientists. They've concluded that no planet in the universe would let you do that. It's amazing. Next bit of news: Batman Arkham Knight is rated M. That's pretty cool, and I thought it was interesting. Now they're talking about it because it's dark. It's a dark game, so it's rated M. And the good thing is the developers didn't have to cut anything out, and they also didn't want to. I'm sure that there was an option and probably pressure to take parts out or tone it down or whatever, but they didn't want to, and fortunately they didn't have to, so they're just gonna rate it M, and that's how it is, and that's really cool. And the thing I thought about was interesting about that was Batman Arkham Origins is also really dark. Like, I mean, Origins is freaking crazy. It got the attitude, it's got the right attitude, it's vicious, and Batman is just a super freaking badass in it. So I was like, how did that game not get rated M? So something in Arkham Knight has to be, because Origins was pretty dark. Like, I mean, not like graphically dark, but just it was dark. It was a really good attitude, mood, and everything. It was just, so I'm like, so I can't wait for Batman Arkham Knight. That's gonna be awesome. One thing I do think is funny about the game is the story is about how all the villains are coming together and they're banding together to beat the Batman, which is exactly what happened in Origins. Alright, anyway, so next bit of news. Lionsgate is teaming up with Telltale Games to create what they're calling right now a super show. They don't actually know what it's going to be or anything. They're calling it scripted television, which is just like, to me, I'm like, what? Scripted, oh, okay. Now some of the creators behind the show are going to be from the Orange is the New Black, which is an awesome freaking Netflix show, Mad Men, Saw, and Hunger Games. So there's a great team behind it. That's with Telltale Games, of course. And so they're calling it scripted television. I thought that was funny because I don't know. It's just like that. Really, that's what you're gonna call it. You're gonna say it's gonna be scripted television. So we don't really know exactly how it's gonna work. If we're going to be able to interact with it as a TV show. There are YouTube videos that have been made in the past. There's not a lot of them, but they're, you click on links and they would take you to the next video, and you kind of make your choices as you go through it and stuff, which is an interesting little thing. It's pretty cool. So we'll see what happens there. Next bit of news: Grand Theft Auto 5 delayed until April. And this is cool. A lot of people are getting all pissy about it and stuff. I like it because Grand Theft Auto 4 was a mess. It was a mess. Apparently, you needed a computer 10 years ahead of its time in order to play it properly. So, I don't know, man. I'm glad that 5 is getting delayed. I also have it on my PS3, so it's not like I care. I'm not really super looking forward to it on PC, and I'm kind of just tired of playing games on my PC. That's besides the point, sort of. It's related, but just PC is just. I'm just tired of the bullshit with it. So yeah, delay it and make it work. I'll be happy, because I do want it on my PC, I do, but I'm gonna wait. I already have the game. I haven't even beaten it on my PS3, and I'm gonna wait and see what people say, how optimized it is, stuff like that, and I don't expect much from it, because PC gaming eats the ball sack. Screw you, elitists! Alright, next bit of news, NVIDIA is being sued for the GTX 970 cards not having a full 4 gigabytes of video RAM, which is pretty damn funny. They're being sued for false advertising. Of course, NVIDIA says it will never happen again. Of course, let's hope not, you know. But that was a pretty good bit of news. I thought that was pretty funny. So they're being sued over false advertising for the 970 cards. If you hadn't read anything about that or seen anything, yeah. So it's supposed to be 4 gigabytes of video RAM on the card itself, but instead it actually has 3.5. I don't remember what the other 0.5 was used for, but it's not like, you know, it's used for something. So next bit of news, there have been 30 minutes of Legacy of Kain gameplay released that from a game that was never released. It was I think it was supposed to be on the PlayStation 2. It was actually probably really close to being done, and then just got canceled. So it never came out. So there's 30 minutes of gameplay that you can actually watch and check out, and I thought it looked neat. There were some comments that didn't like it. They were like, this looks like crap, you know. But I don't think those people realized it was a PlayStation 2 game. You know what I mean? Like, it actually looked pretty cool. My favorite of the series though was the original Blood Omen, like the one that was like a top-down RPG that played a lot more like Diablo than the 3D games did. So yeah, I liked the original one. I never really got into the Legacy of Kain games after that because I wanted the original one back. I wanted sequels to that were top-down RPGs. But I have always wanted to play the Legacy of Kain games. Now at this point, you know, I'm more like, I want to go play that. You know, they do look interesting. I had played a couple in the past, but I didn't get very far because they weren't what I wanted. I wanted the Diablo-ish Blood Omen game, and instead I got like a 3D platformer. All right. Next bit of news, Drive Club is still planned for a free version for PlayStation Plus users. Now this was supposed to, I'm pretty sure if I remember right, Drive Club was supposed to have a free version launch with the PlayStation 4. Or no, yeah, like when the game launched, it was supposed to have a free version, like right away. They're still working on that. And the reason this is a bit of news was because like a day or two before this was confirmed that it is still coming. There's apparently some kind of miscommunication where they said that they did not expect a Drive Club free version to come at this point. Which kind of makes sense with all the issues that I've read about with their servers. You know, they had a bunch of issues with their servers, so they're still working on the game and all that. But at the same time, it's a little weird because it's not, I mean, you look at all the free-to-play games, and they basically, a lot of them, not all of them, there's some really good free-to-play games, but basically what it comes down to, most free-to-play games are they're just demos. They're like, you have all this access that's really cool, and you get some really good access, but eventually if you like the game enough, you're going to need to start paying for it. You're going to have to buy this and this and this, you know. So, you know, I don't know why it's so hard for them to make a free version of that. Because back when they said they're going to make a free version, they were going to make it a good free version, but it wouldn't be the full game, is what I remember. I mean, I could be wrong, that's what I remember. But anyways, that is still planned, so we can hopefully look forward to that in a year or 2 or 5 or 10, I don't know. Next bit of news, Forza Horizon 2 is getting a Fast and the Furious standalone game, not DLC, it's a standalone game, and it'll be free for about a week and a half, from March 27th until April 10th. After that, it'll only be $10. I'm looking forward to that. I like the Fast and Furious movies. I don't think they're good or anything, but they are fun to watch. They're entertaining. A few of them are bad, while the others are much more entertaining. Like, I hated Tokyo Drift. Oh my gosh, I couldn't stand that movie. And then there were a couple others with Diesel in it, and that I just like, this is stupid. But I like the first two, man. I did. Anyways, I've been wanting to play Forza Horizon 2. I haven't played it yet. It's still kind of pricey right now for me because it's still basically full price as when it launched. And sales on consoles are not that impressive. They're like, oh hey, you can get it for $40 now. Like I've played PC for a long time, so you can take your $40 and shove it up your throat. You know, I was gonna say something else, so never mind. That kind of came out wrong because, anyways. I do look forward to a standalone game. I'll get that. I'll pick that up for free. That's pretty cool. Next bit of news, Resident Evil Revelations 2 does not have offline co-op on PC. Now, there's a lot of like rage and pissy people over that, which I thought was really funny. Because apparently, when the game was launching on PC, what they basically did was copy-pasted the console description and put it onto the PC one as well. And they left out the tiny part that PC would not have offline co-op, and they meant to take that out, and they apologized. Capcom apologized. They said, look, you know, we're really sorry, it wasn't supposed to be there, you know, so it doesn't have offline co-op, which it's a PC game, dude. Like, how many people play offline co-op on PC? I don't know, some. It's like me not having a mobile device, you know. We're a small group of people that don't have mobile devices. Small group of people play offline PC, but it's just kind of weird. It's kind of weird to me because We're all online anyways. Most people are online. Where? I don't understand, man. Where do you live in the world? I'm just playing. It does suck to not have internet. I would not want to be there. I would not want to live there. Anyways, so yeah, there's a lot of drama over Resident Evil Revelations 2 not having offline co-op on PC because it does have it on the consoles. It does. It has offline co-op on consoles. Alright, next bit of news. Super Hot, which is an indie game that was on Kickstarter, received $250,000 more funding after the Kickstarter was way over. Unfortunately, there's no more explanation because of an NDA. So that was an interesting bit of news, and I wanted to share it because the game, I played the demo, and I'll link that in the description below. Is really cool. Like, I was like, whoa. Now, I had seen screenshots of it, and I actually saw, like, you know, a video of it before I ever played it. I was like, that's neat, but I don't care, whatever. But then somebody kept insisting, you know, I check it out, whatever, and I went and played the demo, and I was like, whoa, that's actually really neat. It's a lot of fun. So I'll link the demo below, along with the 30 minutes of Legacy of Kain gameplay that I forgot to mention earlier. Alright, so, next bit of news. 125 million active users on Steam. 125 million, and the image just popped up randomly too, so that worked out pretty good. Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. So Steam is just dominating the PC world. Pretty crazy cool. And this is, you know, when they started, it was hard for them to get started. It was really hard. It took them like a few years, I think around 4 years before they actually started to actually gain like some kind of momentum. So it took a while. Yeah, it's 125 million active users. Active users, not registered users. Active, dude. Oh my gosh, that's pretty cool. All right, next bit of news. Fable Legends, the 4v1 PvP game, is going to be free to play. Oh my gosh. All right, so I had not looked into that game that much though. I didn't even know it was a 4v1 game. So another Evolve kind of thing. So that kind of pisses me off that EA canceled their game, Shadow Realms, because what the hell, man? This game isn't even out yet, and they're still bringing it out. So anyways, yeah, Fable Legends, free to play. Cool. Next bit of news, Hearthstone player quit because of drama. Oh man, this was a terrible story, and I will link it below in the description because I did not like know a lot of the stuff. It's ridiculous. It's I actually meant to bring up the article so I could read some notes while I was doing this or whatever and just go through it, but it was pretty crappy. Basically, all it was over was these players insisting that the player who quit, this was a good player like on Hearthstone, and apparently she was being accused of not being a girl. That's it, man. Like, seriously? But there was a lot to it, which is why I'm going to share the story. I'll link it to you. It was pretty terrible. I mean, over people just saying she's not a girl, it's a guy pretending to be a girl, and this person wouldn't have benefited from anything. Like, it's a really stupid story, but there's a lot to it, and it's interesting. It's stupid because people are stupid. It's not stupid because of the story itself. It's just that people are just such idiot douchebags that this is happening in the first place, man. It's just terrible. It is so freaking terrible. Alright, so anyways, alright, next bit of news. Sony lost entries to a 20th anniversary PlayStation 4 giveaway that they had. So they apparently people who had bought a PlayStation 4 during a month period or some crap, a certain time period, were automatically entered, or they could go enter. I think they had to go enter by showing their receipt or purchase or whatever. They could go enter to win a 20th anniversary PlayStation 4, which is, I think, a white one. It was like, but it was a cooler white one. I don't remember. It looks nice. It's pretty cool. So Sony lost all the entries. So what they're doing is they're allowing people to re-enter. All the people that had entered before, they can re-enter, and they'll do a drawing for it. That's pretty. That sucks, but it's kind of funny. So that's an interesting little bit of news. Next bit of news, Ubisoft is planning for 10 or 20 more years of Assassin's Creed. I will link that below in the description below so you can check out the story of that. And I think, you know, while everybody's all pissed off about, you know, like, oh, stop making the same game over and over, just rehashing it and this and that, there's a lot of story into Assassin's Creed. For me, it's just the main story in the game. Like, you know, if you play Assassin's Creed 4 or 3, for example, right, the stories suck. All the lore behind it is amazing. That all the lore in the background of the story, all the stuff surrounding what's happening in this game is really cool. But the main story, the actual story with Connor and 3 and Edward and 4 is just bad. It's so bad. The events in the games are really cool. 4 is gorgeous, and the gameplay is solid and fluid for the most part. And 3 had these really cool historical events that you get to go and play through. But the actual story though was just so boring and stupid. And that's the thing that it took me a long time. It took me several Assassin's Creed games to finally start realizing, like, holy crap, that you get teased with good story in the background, and then the main story is crap, except for Ezio's story. Ezio's trilogy was pretty good because you get to invest into the characters, you know, like you got to know Ezio's uncle and aunt and sister and his family, along with the Brotherhood. Like there's a lot more Brotherhood interaction in those games than there was, you know, in 3 and 4. Like it's just those games, man. Anyways, but there is a lot of really cool stuff behind it. There's a lot of cool stuff they could do in 10 to 20 more years. There's so much they could do with that game. If you know, especially I think it was 4. When you play 4, like there's all this little secrety lore stuff you can come across, and it's hinting at stories of what could happen in future Assassin's Creed games, like the Samurai Assassin's Creed, and you know, stuff like that. Like just lots of those little hints or teased throughout the game, and these little bits of information that you collect while you play. So there is a lot of stuff that they could do, a lot, but that doesn't mean it'll be good, you know. But it's cool. It's, you know. So yeah, so they're planning for 10 to 20 more years of Assassin's Creed, which is crazy. And what do we already have? How many games have we had? Like, what was it in the past year? Oh, not like just this year, but over the past 12 months. What's it been, like 5 Assassin's Creed games? Like, holy crap, dude! I'm not even sure. I didn't actually count them or anything, but it, you know, there's a lot. It's pretty funny. I mean, like, what, 3 came out at like the same damn time. Like, what was it? Unity, Rogue, and then wasn't there another one? I don't know, maybe not. Maybe there's only 2. But that's pretty dang funny, man. Alright, anyway, so that was that. Let's see, next bit of news. Republic. Now, I call it Republic because it's spelled that's what it looks like to me. It looks like it's Republic instead of Republic. Now, my buddy responded to me because I was calling it Republic, and he goes, "You mean Republic?" And I was like, "Well, it's spelled Republic, all right? So whatever, you know. But Republic, whatever. However, it's REPUBLIQUE. Okay, leak." Remastered is now on PC. It's on Steam, and I will link that in the description below as well. This game looked really cool. This was a mobile game. It's remastered-ish, you know, in HD and all that. It definitely looks better than the mobile version. While the mobile version did look good. They finally released it on PC, and this was one of the like 2 games that I can remember that I saw on mobile, and I was like, damn, I wish that was on PC. The other one was Batman Arkham Origins HD, or well, Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate. When I saw that on mobile, I was like, holy crap, I want to play that game. That looks really cool. And then when they put it on PC, I have it. I played it. I almost beat it. I played a lot of hours on it. I haven't beat it yet. It's a cool game, though. So this one just came out a couple days ago, and it looks cool. It looks interesting. Next bit of news. Oh, a follow-up on the Destiny character deleted. Now, if you didn't watch my last gaming news, this is a follow-up to what happened before. This kid let somebody take control of his account on the PlayStation 4 with the share feature, and the kid deleted his best characters. He had 3 characters. I don't know why. I think the kid who was deleting the character purposefully left him with 1 character. Just, he was apparently being nice. I don't know. That's my guess. He deleted his 2 best characters, and then he deleted the best weapon on the last character that he let him keep. It was ridiculous, man. So the kid, apparently, you know what sucked though, is this happened like in just under 30 seconds or so. Like, the kid had to take a quick break. I mean, he was gone for really just a short period of time. He was like, all right, the kid who gave control over the account was like, all right, I'll be right back. He went away for just, I mean, he went away, came back, and, you know, he noticed what was happening on his account, and he powered down his PlayStation, you know, to try and stop the guy from doing any more damage. But the damage was done, and it sucked really bad. Like, that's just terrible. It was really terrible. And coming to find out, the kid was 11 years old, you know, and he did it with somebody like that was in a group that he was regularly playing with, so he thought he could trust them. terrible story, terrible story. So there's a follow-up to that. Now the player who owns the account that was the person who deleted this kid's characters, you know, he took over the share and stuff. The player that owns the account that did that wasn't actually the player behind the controller. Now this was all investigated. There's lots of stuff that Game Informer. They did a lot of follow-ups on this story, and it was pretty cool. I love that because a lot of these stories, they come out and it just seems like it's link bait. You know, people want to just get clicks and have this drama story stuff, you know, whatever. But Game Informer kept following up with these stories, and so this is pretty cool. So the player, now they looked into it. The player was recovering from a car accident at the time, and you know, he's got family. He's not the only kid in the house. So the friends of his sisters and brothers or whatever would be over at the house, and they'd be on his PlayStation 4. And I don't know why that would happen. Like, if it was my PS4 and my sister's friends were over at my house, they would not be on my PS4. But you know, that happens, especially when you're younger. You know, everybody shares it. Everybody. You know, that's just how it goes when you're younger. And it makes perfect sense. So he was recovering from a car accident, and apparently one of his friends did this. One of his friends was a super huge douchebag. And this guy that was recovering from the car accident, he was saying in the previous interview, he was saying, like, he didn't want to know who the friend was. And I was like, you should want to know who that friend is so you can stop being friends with a huge douche, you know? Like, you want to be friends with a person like that, because then they're, you know, you never know. You never know what they're going to do to you next, you know? But he actually ended up finding out who it was, and so Game Informer went and talked to this person too. They talked to the person who took over the controller of the guy who was recovering from a car accident. And while he was recovering from a car accident, he was pretty out of it. You know, he was drugged up. He was, you know, on meds, like probably in and out of consciousness, you know. And so they talked to the kid who actually did this, who deleted the characters of the 11-year-old, and he just said, "Suck it up and move on." And that's what they say. He doesn't feel bad about it or nothing. Just suck it up and move on, which is true. It is true, because you can't do anything about it. But that's just a shitty thing for somebody to do and say. It's just really terrible. But he's 17 years old. The guy that did it is 17 years old. So yeah. Now the player who owns the account, he got a lot of hateful mail and received, you know, people were telling him they wish they would die and all this stuff. And one of the things was somebody told him, you know, of course, this is normal stuff, you know, and this is what comes up though. So somebody said, "I hope you die of cancer," which his sister had actually died of cancer over the past year or so. It was pretty recent. I don't remember exactly, but so yeah, and he took that, you know, that kind of hit him, you know, because his sister died of cancer. That was freaking crazy. But yeah, so he got a lot of, you know, insults and emails and just terrible, hateful stuff, you know, and whew, that's a crazy story, man. This is just terrible. And you know, some of the people, a lot of the comments too, like on the different articles, Facebook, you know, all this stuff, everywhere. A lot of the people were saying, "Oh, the 11-year-old kid deserved it. That's what he gets for trying to cheat," you know, because he thought he was handing over control so that the person could level his other characters up faster or something, some kind of speed level kind of thing. So whatever. So a lot of people were saying, "Oh, it's justice," which is no, it's not. You know, look, I'm against cheating. I don't, people, you know, whatever. But we're kids, man. When we're kids, we're gonna use cheats and you know, whatever, like just to give ourselves a boost, you know. And it's kind of, you know, there's a lot of things that go into that. At younger ages, you just anything to win, and it seems more fun when you're overpowered, but you eventually get sick of that, as I learned, you know. Anyways. So yeah, it's pretty terrible, and I will link to the story update in the description below. I'll let you check out the full story of that. And that's all the gaming news over the past week that I noted down. There's one final bit of news that I wanted to share, not gaming related. Alright, so if you haven't seen it, now I posted this on my personal Facebook. I don't post it on my gaming site, gaming page, because it's not gaming related. So Power Rangers movie, a Power Rangers fan film. It's about 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes long. It's freaking cool as hell. It is really, 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 really cool. Now, you've probably heard about it, but you might not have watched it, and you need to watch it, and I will link that in the description below. because you can only view it on Facebook now. It had to be removed from both Vimeo and YouTube due to I guess the main company that makes Power Rangers or whatever. And there is a lawsuit over it. I forget what it was exactly. Oh, yeah, it's they're just trying to figure out if it's a parody or if it's a serious thing, and it's just stupid stuff just really stupid stuff. So cool thing, a few of the original Power Rangers who had acted as the Power Rangers actually responded to fans to let them know what they think about the movie. Amy Jo Johnson, I believe she was Pink Ranger. I'm not sure. She's the hottie. She liked the movie. She thought it was neat, you know. So did Walter Emmanuel Jones. They both liked it. And then Jason David Frank, he actually, and the thing about this guy, I think he's the White Ranger or Green, I don't remember which Ranger he was. But the thing that I thought was funny about his comment was because some of the articles that were talking about what he said were saying he didn't like it, and he doesn't actually say that. He doesn't actually say, oh, I didn't like the film. What he says is that he's a PG guy, and the Power Ranger fan film is not a PG movie. It's not. So it's not for kids. And to him, you know, he was saying like, look, you know, Power Rangers are for kids. It's for family. It's actually for kids and adults who, you know, can watch it together and stuff. And this fan movie is not for kids. So that's all he was talking about. He says that he understands why people would like it because they've grown up and they want an older version. But that's not what, you know, that's not what the Power Rangers is about. That's basically what it came down to. So he didn't say he didn't like it though, and it was really he was kind of just circling around it. He would not really comment on the movie itself. He would just say what he thinks of the Power Rangers and what it represents and stuff. And you know, all these articles were saying like, oh, he didn't like it, oh, he was just trash talking it, and it just wasn't the case. I saw his video. It's like a few minutes long. Half of it is him just repeating himself over and over, which I know because I do the same thing a lot. Anyways, so I'll link the video below. It's gonna be on Facebook because, like I said, they had to remove it from Vimeo and YouTube. The owner of the director, the guy who made the movie, the Power Ranger fan film, he actually thanked, you know, Zuckerberg for allowing it to be on Facebook and stuff. Now I don't know. We'll see. I haven't actually checked it in a couple days, so the video might be gone, but it's probably still there. We'll see. Anyways, all right. So thanks for hanging out with me, guys. Thanks for joining me for the gaming news. Let me know what you think of all the gaming news going on right now. Leave a comment, like the video if you liked it, please and thank you, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.